Welcome in, ghouls and ghosts. It's time for another Friday Night Frights here on Heroes for Hire Comic Club. And actually, I was going to tell you, Tony, you can stream this to your channel if you want.
Okay. I already got it going.
Okay. What do you got there?
Hey, what are you reading there, Tony?
It's the Jason Bible. It's the Friday the 13th Crystal Lake Memories. And I just happened to be on a page where we're talking about tonight's movie where a quote from C.J. Graham says, "It's like all of a sudden you get to put a baseball uniform on and you're the pitcher in the ninth inning of the World Series. It's an incredible feeling." C.J. Graham on Playing Jason.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I'm going to show should I do the slideshow first or should you watch the teaser trailer first?
Trailer.
All right. If we get shut down, well, it's the way it goes. We like to live on the edge here, kind of like Tommy Jarvis digging up a dead body of Jason when he should have known better.
Yep.
All right. We could mute it, but I don't know. I only wondered that bell reminded me of the Undertaker.
Well, yeah, I love that.
It reminds me of the beginning of Top Gun.
Too loud for you.
I'm just going to talk a little bit right now to hopefully throw off the algorithm detector.
Yeah, really.
But it's like, oh, they're building the tension. This is just a teaser trailer, so imagine seeing this in the theater, like you're going to see another movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
You think there's no Friday the 13th movie coming out again? Well, I guess that part 5 is new beginning, but when's the next one coming out? We don't know because there was no internet back then. So then you see they come in. Oh shit! It's Jason Voorhees. He's back.
For those listening on AM radio, we're in a foggy graveyard.
Yeah, everybody listening, we're like, welcome to Coast AM.
Yes.
George Snap.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Jason's crypt opens and it's empty.
It says The Nightmare Returns this summer. Paramount Pictures. Then we're still here, so I guess Jason didn't come to get us. And I forgot though. You know what though? I want to tell you something about this Jason guy. He's overrated. Okay, this guy. I mean, if he was here right now, I would tell him to go piss up a rope. Okay, because he's not that tough, guys. He's not that tough.
No,
I mean,
he's not.
You know what I mean? He's not that tough. But like, I mean, it ain't like he's right behind me or anything. So I mean, I'll be all right. Oh shit.
Well, I can't help you from California, man.
I guess that's it for me. All right.
Hey, Matt, I'll make sure that they make a Nika figure for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell everybody that I fought bravely. All right. Anyway, there we go. I thought I took it off. Oh, hold on. He's still there.
Yeah, you don't give up, man.
No, man.
We got like me and my buddy came up with a strategy to how to deal with Jason when we were like teenagers, preteen, in between, whatever.
Did you tell
We're
us
like,
one?
all right,
Mariana's Trench or something?
You got to kill him, and you got to take his head and his limbs and put them in different parts of the world. But his head goes in a bag with a chain and a weight, and it goes to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. If you come back from that, it's over.
Actually, be honest with you, that's where you want to put the chest with the heart. Jason goes to hell. Taught you that one.
Good evening, Keppers. Jason belongs in hell. I'm going to see he gets there. Well, Tommy, I got to tell you something about Tommy Jarvis here, though, y'all. He should have left dead dogs lying.
Well, you know,
the whole reason anybody dies in this movie is completely and totally his fault. But we'll get to that later. Excuse me, Jason. I'm allergic to mold.
An obsessive, people, I guess. Obsessive compulsive Tommy. You know.
Yeah, he's a nut. All right. So here's the slideshow. Friday 36, Jason lives. We also have something else to share. Here we go. It looks like somebody took a picture from a TV there.
Yeah.
Thing about this movie, I remember from being a kid,
Ooh.
that taught me to have courage in the face of homicidal maniac certain death. Even they're coming at you and they got maggots crawling out of their head. You look at it and you say, "Come on, maggot head! Come on, maggot head!" That's what you do.
I'll tell you what, though, this movie kind of keeps on the long tradition of having very attractive women in their movies, especially the lovely lady in the black on the left.
Yeah.
And there he is in his watery grave. And there's Tommy trying to get him. There's a good shot of him walking. I just like how he just walks right into the lake. Like I'm not even. I don't sweat.
7 bullet holes in his chest.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
Snap.
Poor old Tommy's buddy there. And
This
this
is
guy,
that's a bad one.
yeah, he gets a nasty death.
Oh no, not him. The actual sheriff gets that bad
Oh,
one.
yeah,
He
he
gets
gets folded up like a pretzel,
lawn chair, baby.
like a cheap suit. There's where he gets brought back to life. The first of it.
Just like
There we
Frankenstein. I liked her.
I thought she was cute too. And that's it. That's my slideshow. Not bad. I guess I could have done better, but some of the pictures were not that great. They were kind of messed up. Now I'll share the Wikipedia page for everybody watching and watch it on replay. So Friday 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Stylized on screen is Jason Lives Friday 13th 6. It was made in 1986. It's written and directed by Tom McLaughlin, starring Tom Matthews, Jennifer Cook, David Kagan, and C.J. Graham. It is a sequel to the Friday 13th, A New Beginning. So Tommy tries to dig up his body because he's still tortured by the past and what happened in Part 5. So, Tom Matthews came on to play Tommy Jarvis, and is he not the third person to play Tommy in a movie?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, because the first one, the actor, he didn't really, I don't know, he acted like he really wasn't into it. Like he wasn't even in much of the movie though, Part 5. I mean, I thought it was a good movie, but so this movie was made, it grossed $19.5 million. It was filmed on a budget of $3 million. It's the first and only film in the series to receive generally positive reviews from critics. In the years since its release, its self-referential humor and numerous instances of breaking the fourth wall have been praised for prefiguring Kevin Williamson's Scream film series. 1 year after attempting to kill Pam Roberts, Tommy Jarvis is released from the local hospital for the criminally insane. He's still suffering flashbacks of the mass murder of Jason Voorhees. So him and his buddy decide to, his friend Alan Hawes try to go and dig him up and burn his body. But so Tommy gets all mad and throws a little conniption fit, right? And stabs him with a big wrought iron post from the fence. Well, then lightning strikes the wrought iron post. And it brings Jason back to life.
Oh,
And what's
Frankenstein.
here, it's almost like they should have been playing that, that Benny Hill music when he starts to like pour gas on him and he pulls out the match and it starts raining. Wah, wah, wah. And then, so he busts his buddy up. Clown show there. It says, although the previous film in the series, Friday 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, had been a financial success, it had disappointed the Friday 13th series fans. It received some of the worst reviews of any film in the series. In order to prevent further alienating the fans and thus endangering their cash cow, the producer decided to take the series in a new direction, moving it away from what producer Frank Cusco Jr. called the coarse nature of New Beginning. To this end, Manusco hired Tom McLaughlin, who had directed the successful horror film One Dark Night, but also known around Hollywood for shopping around various comedy scripts he had written. The dichotomy that appealed to Mancuso, sorry, I can't say that right, McLaughlin was given free rein on how he could present the story, with the only condition being that he bring back Jason Voorhees and make him the film's villain. So he decided to take the film in the direction of old Universal monster films. And you know what? It took that kind of vibe, specifically the 1931 version of Frankenstein, which portrayed Frankenstein's monster, played by Boris Karloff, as a lumbering killer brought to life by electricity. McLaughlin also drew from vampire lore in order to give Jason a weakness, namely being returned to his home soil. To achieve this, McLaughlin disregarded the idea presented in part two that Jason had survived his drowning, instead presenting the idea that Jason has always been some sort of supernatural force. He also decided to retcon the ending of the fifth film where Tommy Jarvis was a serial killer. In fact, Pam Roberts, Melanie Keeneman's truck from the fifth film can be seen indicating she is alive. Okay, what is this shit coming up here? All right. Tommy Jarvis, played by, where Tommy Jarvis, who was played by John Shepard, was a serial. Okay, I lost my place for that stupid update. She's alive in the Tommy tapes for Friday 13th, The Game, 2017, written by Adam Green. It is explained that the ending of the film was just Tommy's dream. He further decided to expand the series' thematic scope, incorporating action film elements and postmodern meta humor. When Jason is first encountered in the woods near Crystal Lake, the character Elizabeth Mott comments that she and Darren Robinson, played by Tony Goldwyn, should flee because she knows that about proper conduct to survive a horror film. McLaughlin would further satirize the series itself as Martin, the gravedigger, played by Bob Larkin, comments on Jason's exclamation, why'd they have to go and dig up Jason, before breaking the fourth wall and addressing the camera with the observation, some folks sure got a strange idea of entertainment.
I love that.
In addition to Frankenstein, McLaughlin also cited inspiration in his love of Gothic horror films, particularly the works of books, particularly the works of Edgar Allan Poe and his Catholic upbringing. Jason Lives features the series' only explicit reference to God, and during the climax, Nancy Perry, Courtney Vickery's character, is praying as a praying girl is spared by Jason. A similar scene in which Nancy prays for Tommy, while Megan Garris, played by Jennifer Cook, performs CPR, then mouths "thank you" while looking skyward, was deleted from the final cut of the movie, apparently against McLaughlin's wishes. He recalled in the 2009 DVD director's commentary, somehow it didn't stay in, probably too much sentiment. I don't want to go over the casting, but so it says here that after the first day of filming, Macusko decided, he said his names, he disliked Bradley's appearance on screen as Jason. All of the scenes that Bradley filmed in which Jason kills the paintball playing executives were kept in the completed picture. The rest of Jason's scenes were performed by C.J. Graham, an area restaurant manager and former soldier. As part of a stage show put on at a restaurant, a magician would hypnotize audience members and place them in a scenario during which they encountered Jason Voorhees. Graham, who stood 6'3" and weighed 250 pounds, was asked to play Jason. For the scenario, Jason Lives special effects coordinator Martin Becker was in the audience for one such show and recommended Graham to Macusko and McLaughlin. Both men were impressed with Graham's presence and he decided to film the remainder of the scenes. Jason Lives is the only film in the franchise that does not contain any nudity. Boo! It was a conscious effort, he said, to park the distance Friday 13 films from their
glaring omission.
Morality tales, in which premarital sex is punished by death. Hold up, though. What about the scene in the RV? They were having sex and they got killed.
Yeah, but they had to close. It was a closed. It was
Close
sex
on?
closed. Yeah, closed on sex.
So the film has some pretty good songs on it, including "He's Back," "The Man Behind the Mask" by Alice Cooper from his Constrictor album, "I'm No Animal" by Felony from their album Vigilante, "Teenage Frankenstein" also from Alice Cooper's album Constrictor, and "Hard Rock Summer" from Alice Cooper from his box set The Life and Crimes of Alice Cooper.
Hell yeah.
In January 2012, La La Land Records released a limited edition 6 CD box set containing Medfordini's scores from the 6 Friday the 13th films, but unlocked parts 1 through 5, which used the film's sound stems as a source of the music. Manfredini had the original master tapes in his possession, and it was this source that was used to remaster the audio. It sold out in less than 24 hours. It was reissued in 2019.
So let's take a quick pause here and let's talk about, by the time this movie comes out, Friday the 13th is big enough where everybody knows what that franchise is. So I think,
Oh yeah.
don't you kind of get the feeling that this part was just like a gift to people like us that love the movies?
Yeah, like
you may want to chew out Tommy for bringing him back to life because of his anger and trying to die Jason, all that stuff, but it's got great music. It's got the slasher stuff. Jason's going back to work. But the only thing it did miss that we're usually normally, accustomed to, like you said before, was a little bit of skin here and there. That was the only thing that was missing.
he said, I've heard of meth heads robbing stores with machetes, so I guess a machete is the new redneck katana.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, could be.
Well, also, like, I think, when I read there too, where he's like, there was a bit of a backlash from part 5. From the real fans, like, this Jason's not even in this movie.
Yeah, it's a fake Jason.
Yeah, and they're trying to turn Tommy into Jason. And
so, I was afraid of that.
Like, it's totally like fan service at this. They were like, let's give them what they want. They want just.
I
Jason
felt kind of cheated.
Yeah.
When at the end of part 5, when it was revealed that it was Roy, I was like, what? They did just pull a Halloween Season of the Witch on me? Son of a bitch,
Well, like, so this one I think was like a makeup, like, hey, we're sorry, we screwed up. It's kind of like, how Marvel, like, they fucked up with the Marvels, and they're like, okay, well, since we didn't do too great with that one, here's Deadpool Wolverine. You know what I mean? So this is for you guys. This is for you guys. Yeah. So I think that, and
come on, Maggot Head.
He's like, come on, Maggot Head, pussy. Never call Jason a pussy. You'll get in trouble. So I guess we're gonna and also don't try to hit him with a shovel.
Oh,
I'm just saying this too. Honestly, at that point, if I was Tommy's friend and he drugged my ass there, and he was like, he was like gazing at Tommy because he's like, I'm gonna get you because I know who you are. I would have just took off. He'd have looked around. I'd have been gone in the car and be like, oh, too bad, so sad. Sorry, Tommy. You drug me in this shit with a homicidal maniac that's back from the dead. No, thank you.
Well,
no, thank you.
Well, to be on Tommy's side, he does tell him in the car, you didn't have to come, Hog.
I don't know, man. Going after Jason, I'd have rolled up in there with Brad Pitt's Fury tank loaded up with Whistly Pete. Is that what they call it? Whistling Pete?
Willie Pete.
Willie Pete, that's right.
Take
care of it that way.
Thing is when brother started throwing gas on Jason, that's cool. But when he went for the rod, I'd have had to stop and grab the rod and go, dude, have you ever seen Frankenstein? This ain't gonna work.
Exactly. I don't know what he was thinking. So, but we'll go in and we'll start talking about it to start off with. And since you guys are above me, we'll start with Tony. Tony, what is your overall feeling of this movie as part of the franchise of Friday 13th?
Jesus Christ, dude, how long we got?
We got a long time. Usually we're an hour, but we can go over that. We don't care. Not on this show.
Dude, 3 and 6 are my ones that constantly clash for like my favorite Jason movies of freaking all time. And I always want to lean a little bit more to 6 because of my love. Like we said, there's a lot of nods to Frankenstein and the Universal Monsters, and I freaking love that, man. For this, for a movie to not have sex scenes in it for a Friday 13th movie, it's kind of heartbreaking because I wanted to see Darcy topless in the RV, but sometimes we don't get what we want. But but I mean, it's just from the kills to to the fourth wall breaking and the little bit of humor they throw in there. I've got a freaking clipboard of some stuff I brought if you want me to read it later of just little things that I thought was interesting. But I mean, this movie come out at the perfect time because when I was 13, every kid, whether you like horror movies or not, suffers a nightmare period
Mm-hmm.
where you just can't shake them. And this was the first movie that I got to go and watch in a movie theater to show my parents, look, I ain't afraid of horror movies anymore. And it was freaking awesome, dude. I mean, for all of us that like grew up and we bought the paperback for Simon Hawke and I read it and just totally digested this thing. This sumbitch was everywhere. Books, theaters, MTV, everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
you watch MTV, you saw the Man Behind the Mask video. You saw, like I said, I read the books. There wasn't no comics at the time, but I mean, he was just there. And I love it. Like I said, I love it. And that iconic picture that you showed of him standing on top of that RV with the flames is like one of the most perfect shots in the freaking world. I'd love to have that as a poster. Like you said, I got it as a poster. Got the figure. And one of these days, if I can afford it, that paperback, that little bitty thick paperback, runs about 150 to 400 bucks. So maybe I'd like to get it. Hopefully I can get it one of these
The
days.
soundtrack on vinyl too, which I really want.
See, I didn't know there was a soundtrack, but now I have to be looking for that too.
Yeah, great soundtrack.
I'd say 6. I always split them. 1 to 4. I always called his human time when he was human. People may disagree, but I always thought it was human. 6 began the undead years, where he was resurrected as sort of like would the term be a revenant?
Yeah, Deadite, basically.
Or that I don't really believe he was a deadite because there's certain things that deadites do that he didn't do. He didn't fly or anything. But from this point on, this is where you get the unstoppable cyborg. Well, we're gonna call it cyborg. Punching out people's hearts and freaking knocking people's heads into trash cans and all kinds of crazy shit. Love it. I'm done.
All right. What do you think, Jeff? Oh,
Like I said, go ahead.
he said, "Look here, I feel old too, Katana." He said it's 40th anniversary. Damn, go ahead, Jeff.
So by the time it came around, like number 4 is my favorite. 1 and 2 are also my favorites, and I love actually 1 through 4 for me is like my I don't know, it's all one continuous continuous, and I love all of them. Number 5, I was a little like, what happened to Jason? It was got this guy named Roy, and then 6 came back with the Jason that I know, and the whole thing I could tell was I felt like it was meant for like, here you go, Friday the 13th fans. Here's a smorgasbord of good times and fun and all that for you.
Yeah, I agree. I think,
And the kick-ass soundtrack.
well, this one right here to me is my favorite movie because this epitomizes my feeling for Friday 13th when it became the Jason. I think I'm gonna leave Friday 13th 1 on its own merit, but with this one, this is like Jason the way I remember him, an unstoppable killing machine. Like, oh my God, how do I stop? Because in my part 2 and 3, he got hurt a little bit. He kind of got knocked back a little bit. But this one right here, unstoppable killing machine, basically. Yeah. And it's like the Frankenstein monster angle. I love the soundtrack. I wish there was more nudity in it, but it don't matter because I like part 4 a lot. But I mean, that might be 70% Judy Aronson. But I don't know. I mean, I still like it. I still think it's a great movie. But this right here just sums up like it's at this point, everybody's already in on the whole thing, right? People are not watching this movie because they're like, this is going to be such a good movie. I mean,
I'm going to get scared.
Yeah, it's like we want to see him F some people up.
Yeah, we want to see the battle. That's what we want to see.
How's he going to kill this guy? And he does not disappoint in this movie. He punches a guy through the chest.
Yeah.
He punches a guy up like a pretzel on a lawn chair. You know, I mean, he crushes a guy's head. All kinds of cool stuff he does. And he's like, this is kind of like where we get more of how Jason will fake somebody out, like the girl lying in the mud puddle and she thinks he's gone. And boom, here he comes behind her. And also, he's not really, you kind of get like the first sense that Jason has kind of a weird code, though, because when he's in the camp and he goes in there, the little girl is closing her eyes and she's praying and she opens his eyes, he's gone. It's like he just wanted to go in there and check them out. Like he was like he recognized they were little kids.
So like they're just little kids. I think they represent him. Yeah. So he's not going to hurt them. He's like, oh, all you guys were me. So you guys, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm going after the counselors.
And also, why don't you just call the National Guard in? If I was the sheriff, I'd be like, all right, we're going to hole up in the jailhouse. I'm going to call like the SWAT team somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, it's the only time there are ever children at the camp, Tony. You're exactly right. And you know what? Also, which is kind of a theme, even though Tommy Jarvis is the main protagonist in this movie. Again, the lady shows up. That lady shows up, and she's like the MVP. She saves his ass she saves his bacon about 2 or 3 times.
Got him out of jail.
And she's kind of fun and playful, and I'm glad she didn't get killed. And she's a very cute girl. I was like, man, I wish I had a girlfriend like that when I watched this movie. But I remember when this movie came out. I know I'm kind of like monologuing. We were excited about it because back then, I don't think people understand it, but not just the movie, but even Nightmare. This was an event. When one of these movies came out, you were like, Mom, Dad, can I go see this movie? Or you were like, take me and my cousins. They took me and my cousins to go see it.
You and your buddies.
Yeah.
And your family.
And Mom's like, she didn't want to see it. You know what I mean? But she knew we couldn't get in without her. So, but what Mom would do is she would go in with us and then she'd leave. Because he didn't want to watch it. But like, this is like the one where like, you're planning on going to see it. I remember when Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors came out. Part 4, I think it's part 4. Or is it part 3? I can't remember. 3. We planned on it. All my friends and were like, we got to go to the mall and watch this. We got to meet up at the mall and watch this. So, yeah. And so it's an event. So this is like something you cheer. I don't know. You just cheer on. Like, it's kind of like watching your favorite football team or something, even though it's kind of odd that we're cheering on people getting dying, but you know, whatever. Wherever the red dot goes, you bang. Yeah, I love that girl.
By the time Friday the 13th Part 6 is out, we're no longer, young, kind of immature, kids anymore. We're a little bit older, so I get maybe what we're wanting from the Friday the 13th movies is a little different than maybe when we were 10 years old, 11 years old, whatever.
So anyway, go ahead. I wasn't that old.
I'm sorry, Matt. No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say we were only a few years away from being Jason's optimum killing age.
Yeah. So 1988 is part 7.
Well, this is also, I consider this Jason the hard rock heavy metal Jason.
Man, I thought it came out later than that, but no. Yeah, 1988.
Because, I mean, it had the Alice Cooper songs in it, and Jason's just like straight up badass in this movie.
Yeah.
The laser sight's bigger than a gun. Let me tell you something about that laser sight. I think they copied Terminator because Terminator had the same kind of gun because there's he gets that gun in the gun shop in Terminator. And he said, I want the 45 long slide. So he gets the 45 long slide with a laser sight. That laser sight they use in that movie has a battery pack about this big. And they had to run a wire through Schwarzenegger's sleeve in his jacket. So he's got this battery pack on his belt back here. So that's the only thing. It was very impractical. Nobody was using that on the street or like law enforcement or anything. It was just impractical and probably cost like $800 if you got one. At the time, that's still a lot. I mean, probably I don't know if $800, but it was probably pretty expensive. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, so, yeah, okay. I lost my place, but I want to play this one because I like this part. I love this part because after Tommy gets away from him because he's like, I can't kill this guy. I have no chance. I got to run away and live to fight another day, right? So, and then Jason goes back to retrieve his property, if you know what I'm saying. And that's how the movie starts. That's brilliant. But okay. So do you think, I'll ask you guys this one, we'll go around here and I'll start with Jeff. Do you think they kind of upped the ante on the kill factor in this movie? Like how many people he killed and how they killed them?
No, I mean, maybe they made that effort. And I think there was a pretty high body count. But just the way that a lot of them went was some of them were a little different than what we've seen before. Especially for me, the best death for me in that movie was what's her name's dad, the actual sheriff, who always never believes people that are yelling. People who cry Jason never get listened to.
That's true.
And he believes that it's Tommy doing all of it. And anyway, he winds up coming across Jason in the forest and getting bent in half like a lawn chair. Human origami.
Yeah. Well, it's always the grown folks, like at Night Frights Street. They're like, no, there's nothing wrong. Yep. Well, except for that child killer we burned to death in his house 15 years ago. But that couldn't be nothing. No, that's not it.
About that.
What do you think, Tony? Did they try to up the ante in this film?
Oh yeah. I mean, originally, from what I've read, there was going to be 13 kills in this movie, but believe it or not, the producers were concerned that this might be the first Friday the 13th movie to get a PG-13 rating. So they went back and told them, "Hey, we need some more kills and we need some more cuss words to make sure we don't get a PG-13." And I mean, there were some pretty good deaths. I mean, Hawes's right out the gate, the heart punch, hell, the triple decapitation. But like Jeff said, that and to actually get to see the unedited version of the back crack is something to behold. It is freaking. It is devastating. I mean,
I
and to
felt
be honest,
that. I was like, oh.
And let's give the sheriff one little nod. He was being smart. He was hiding his ass. Jason couldn't find him, and then Jason heard his daughter, and he went, "Oh hell no!" And he revealed his identity to save his daughter, which we all know how that popped.
Did anybody else think the sheriff looked a little bit like comedian Mark Maron?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And he also
a little bit
looked
lighter hair.
Bernie Lomax from Weekend at Bernie's a bit.
There you go, Katana knows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to mention that. And it's funny you mentioned
that in there. I forgot to clip that part. Yeah, but it's like they're playing into all that in this movie. Yeah, and there's the classic tropes we'll get into in a minute. I'm gonna play a couple more clips here. We got them there playing. It's like somebody there playing John Lee Hooker music. All I heard was boom, 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 boom. All right.
Pretzel.
Then we got, that's a classic kill. Well, that's for later. We got to save that for later. Classic kill. And after I play this, I'm going to say something. This is my. We'll play this, and I got something to say about it. It was at that moment he knew he had fucked up.
Where's Roy? Over there, and up there.
Oh, yeah, I like that, but I still love that. I like how they kind of had that kind of tongue in cheek thing like that. The old groundskeepers, like some people have a weird sense of entertainment.
What
And
does he think I am, a forehead?
we'll save the iconic RV scene for later, but I'll start this time with it. No, I won't start. I'll let you guys, since you're on my channel. Tony, name me a couple of classic horror film tropes that are in this movie.
Okay. The couple of them, first ones come to mind. I've already mentioned it. The classic resurrection of the dead character by lightning, introduced to the body through this way being a conduit of a spike to the chest. The classic, oh my God, the killer's here. Oh, you're lying. Take your ass on.
Yeah, definitely. Jeff, you got a couple you can think of?
Well, that was two good ones. I'm trying to think. I gotta say,
I already named one earlier, but you know, so the sheriff.
oh yeah, the way that the cops, no matter every time, they all don't believe ever. They just don't believe it. So that one and another classic trope. I just had it on the tip of my brain. Yeah, it escapes me. Senior moment. Sorry.
That's all right. Well, I can think of a couple. One of them, two people have sex, they're dead.
Yeah.
Walking around in the RV, walking around in an area, being in a car, a vehicle, or in a house, unaware that somebody else is in there, and then they snatch you up, like the girl's walking from the back of the RV, and then she gets snatched into the bathroom because Jason's already in there. And another one is like the girl goes in there to tell the little girl, "Oh, I think it's okay. There's no such thing as scary boogeyman." And then she investigates the noise. Bam, dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
noise investigation.
You think this had like one of the most awkward sex scenes, like in the history of cinematic history, because she's going like this. What is she doing? Like I would be like, if I was with that girl and she was doing that, I would be like, I'm kind of turned off right now.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Oh, what got me was the part where she said, "You gotta go. You gotta go until the song finishes." Well, how long's it got? 7 minutes. Oh crap!
Yeah, I mean, you got to flail around like a dead fish for 7 more minutes.
You have to lay there for just start thinking, dead cats and nuns, dead cats and nuns.
Baseball, hockey. Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day. Margaret. No, Hillary Clinton naked on a cold.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna have nightmares.
That's scarier than Jason.
That's really scary.
Hey, Jason would see that shit and he would stop and look all looming, and then he would turn around and bounce.
He would just know. You know what he do? You know that meme where Homer Simpson just slides back into the bush.
Yeah. There you go, Matt. You can make it.
I do like the part when you first see him at the RV and he's sitting there looking at the RV bouncing and he just kind of cocks his head like, what the hell?
What are they doing? But I mean, I'm just saying, like, if a girl did that with me, I don't know about y'all, that would kind of throw me off. I'll be like, girl, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just but they always have an awkward moment, these movies. Like, you know, in the All-Star Hall of Fame, the awkward Hall of Fame, at number one has to be Crispin Glover, right?
Yeah.
That's just, but this kind of goes in there too, along with Ed Harris dancing in Creepshow, which is just.
What do y'all think about? What do y'all think about the death we didn't see? But damn, dude, I mean, Paulina, You see him walk in, shut the door, you hear some screaming, you see her body go out the window, you see him
Yeah.
drag her back in, and then the next thing you see is just the sheriff open up the door and there's blood everywhere, and you're like,
Everywhere.
oh my God,
Right.
she was
I
the
was saying,
nicest one.
Yeah. Are we at a Jason Voorhees crime scene, or is this the crime scene where Tina got killed in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1?
Yeah, you're like, man, Paulina was the nicest
Damn.
counselor there.
Well, that kind of bothered me too, because she was being so sweet to that girl, and the other counselors were out there getting drunk, smoking weed, having sex, running, gallivanting around, and even what's her name? She's out there running around with Tommy because she's got a. Let's face it, she was thirsty as hell for Tommy because she wanted the bad guy. That's another thing about this movie. She saw him in that cell. Was like, oh, I think I like him. My dad don't like this guy, and he's in jail. Oh, I'm really going to get him mad.
And what's funny with Paulina is, Jason saw him with the little girl, and saw that she was helping the little girl, and still thrashed her like he did. Holy crap!
Yeah, I mean, I think he just had a thing against redheads.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think she had red hair.
How do you go?
But I can't blame some of her. All right. Anyway, so here's the scene where he's like, and this kid does not know how to drive an RV. Okay, he just does not know how to. He doesn't know how to drive anything apparently. So he just tooling along and doesn't know that his old lady's already been killed. That's pretty hardcore. He stabbed him right through the ear almost with that hunting knife. So, and Jason don't care. He lets the thing flip with him in it, and it probably becomes the most iconic scene, if not the most iconic scene in the film.
Oh God, I love that.
Man. Hey, do you remember the funny story about this movie though? There's a backstory about this. The guy, I think it was the director, he was like, I want to keep that cooler they got on top of this thing. It was like some kind of fancy cooler.
Yeah, it was the guy that he was the head of the finances. Go ahead.
The head of financing. They're like, and this guy was getting on their nerves. So they made sure they made a point that thing was on top of the RV when they flipped it.
Yeah.
Because that some bitch not taking it home with him. Because he's like, I'm gonna take that home with me. I'm gonna take that home with me. They're like, no, you're not.
Yeah, it was a $5,000 cooler.
Yeah.
And
damn. At $5,000 for back then, that's even crazier. I probably played that clip a little too long, but you had to have the part where he pops up out of it and he's standing there with the flames. That's just so badass to me. And then we got
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I still want a poster of that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do want a poster of that. That would make a hell of a comic book cover too. But then, so they have this thing where it's kind of like they have this theory that Jason gets his power from being on basically consecrated ground, which is where he died. Where his last memories tied to this place because he died there, right? So Tommy said, we got to bring him back to Crystal Lake. And we saw what happened to, what's her name? Is her name Tina too in this movie?
Megan?
Or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember her name all of a sudden.
I think Tina's right.
No, Megan?
Yeah, Megan.
Oh,
Blonde.
Megan.
Blonde.
Yeah, Megan.
Yeah,
So anyway, Megan and him are like, we're going to get him out here. And then he basically took out the entire Crystal Lake Police Department. So it's only Tommy's there, and he's like, okay, I'm going to draw him in the lake, and we're going to chain him up, which is a very half-cocked plan, in my opinion. But here he is, Tommy. He says, he decides to get him out there. He starts trash talking Jason Voorhees, which I don't recommend. And then he starts pouring the gas. And then he's waiting on Jason, but was he dumb enough to think that Jason was just going to meet him head on? Because that's not Jason Voorhees' style, y'all.
Well, that's
And
not
then,
Jason. Go ahead.
yeah. So anyway, he gets him under the water. He manages to like get the chain around him, but then Jason grabs a hold of him and says, "If I'm going down, you're going down with me, pal." So he's holding him. And if it wasn't for his old girl there swimming out there to help him, Tommy would have been a goner. And here's what she does. You know, let me say something about this scene. It always kind of grossed me out because the stuff that comes out of his neck is so it's like this bile, like dead blood and stuff. And then like it's just it's so gross. I don't know. It always got to me for some reason. And I hope that was nobody's drinking water. That's all I'm going to say. I hope nobody was getting drinking water out of that lake.
His blood is made out of lake slime.
Yeah, it's got all the sediment and stuff in it. I don't know. But anyway, so that's the demise of Jason in this movie. And that's where he stays for a long time until part 7. And we'll get into that one because I felt like since I covered this one, my next episode in 2 weeks is probably Night Frights. I believe we'll go ahead and cover Friday 13th part 7, A New Blood.
I think that's a good idea.
That's the first film where the legendary Kane Hodder plays Jason Voorhees. And that means a lot to me because I think Kane Hodder is probably the best Jason there is. But okay, what are you guys? What's the gore factor for you, Jeff? Is like 1 to 5? Do they go too far, or just enough, or not quite far enough?
For me, on a 1 through 5, the gore factor for me for this movie, it stays true to form in a Friday the 13th movie installment, and I give it a 5 out of 5. Punching
Tony.
hearts through people and folding guys up like lawn chairs.
What do you think, Tony?
I agree. Like you said, punching through hearts, lawn chairs, triple decapitations. I mean, you know, putting a chick's head in a puddle. I mean, where do you Court? And I forgot to mention that the kid that played Court was John Travolta's nephew. So I mean, so he ain't staying alive. So
you just wait for that.
Yeah, I couldn't resist that.
Rim shot.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. And my only criticism that I always had about this movie was coming from the novel. I really wish the director could have had the alternate ending.
Yeah, I'll share that. I forgot.
Yeah, I found this. I found these. Matt's going to share them. These are the original storyboards for the ending that featured Jason's father at the graveside where the caretaker wasn't supposed to die. He was there with him. And you find out he's been giving the caretaker money to take care of Jason and Pamela's graves. And yeah, he's just there and he knows Jason's not in the grave. And, it's just, you're like, wow, dude. And then he just kind of looks up and you see it pan off to Crystal Lake and you see Jason's mask floating in the water. I mean, and then also that one where you see his eyes open up, you get an idea that maybe Jason's father is where he got his madness from.
Maybe.
Interesting. We never hear about his dad at all. It's just about.
No, I've never had it.
No, and this was where the director wanted to actually bring that in there about his dad, but Frank Mancuso said, no, let's just focus on Jason, which would have been cool because now lately in the comics and stuff, they've given you some idea that Jason's father must have been abusive or alcoholic, but I don't know because in this version you get the idea. It says in the book where when she started going crazy and dabbling with the occult, trying to find any way to resurrect her son, his dad went, "See ya." Yep. He tried to support his wife dealing with the loss of his son, but when she started doing that stuff, he went out of here.
Oh, I want to chime in on that because I looked up something while we were talking earlier about this. It says that according to director Adam Marcus, Jason is indeed a deadite, an undead demonic entity from a universe confirmed by an Easter egg having the Necronomicon, Ex Mortis, and the dagger in the film of Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell, suggesting Pamela Voorhees used it as to resurrect Jason. This theory would explain why Jason's supernatural strength has superhuman strength and resilience, though he is unique, powerful deadite bound to Crystal Lake only. So that kind of goes more into the lore of part 6 too.
Yeah.
And because he's got a strong devotion to his mother, which, well, I mean, a lot of boys do. But if I was going to rate this movie that we just watched, I would say this. I'll just let Bill and Ted talk.
Excellent!
It's a kill-tacular slasher film. This is like, if I was like, Matt, could you name one movie from the 1980s that sums up the slasher films of the 80s? And I would pick this movie. And I'm going to give it, because we rate things a little different here on Friday Night Frights. This is not good cinema. This is not bad cinema. This is Friday Night Frights. So we're talking about just a straight ahead like slasher film with some tongue-in-cheek parts, a lot of gratuitous violence, and a bunch of dumbass teenagers. I give this movie a 5. Jeff, what do you think?
My favorites are 1 through 4. Number 5 and number 6. I know we're talking about number 6, but I'll give them a 4.5 out of 5.
Good score. Tony.
All right, I'm going to use 2 of my rating systems. The usual rating system, I give it a 5, but I'm also going to implement what I call my Showgirls rating. Would I watch? Which one would I rather watch? Friday 13 Part 6 or Showgirls? Well, in this instance, I'm going to watch Friday 13 Part 6.
Okay, that's actually a good thing for bad cinema too. Like, would I rather watch this or Showgirls? So
yeah.
And I just think it's I don't know, guys. And the final thoughts. I know that a lot of these movies get a lot of flack. They got a lot of flack from critics in the 80s. Now, a lot of people are like, I call them hoity-toity horror film fans that they like more serious fare. This right here is like these movies right here are kind of like the Miller High Life of movies. It's not an expensive beer. It's not the best beer out there, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's the only beer.
Yeah. The champagne of beers, as they say.
Champagne of beers.
Always a fan of Miller High Life. But but that's what we do when we're rolling on the high life side. We're high rollers. You know what I'm saying? But like it's like it's like, I mean, like, okay, but then I think like Ginger Dead Man would be Mickey's malt liquor. You're just doing it to get drunk.
Yeah. But you think about it. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
I was going to say, Ginger Dead Man is like the natural light.
No, it's like it's like Milwaukee's best. It's even worse.
Yeah.
The PBR. Horror film. Well, even worse. There was a beer called Fall City that we used to get, and this is back in the 90s. It was like, I want to say it was like $3 a 6-pack back then.
Yeah.
And it's just like you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? It's like
I'll say this about it. It was pretty much the last Friday the 13th that served up a dish of 1980s. People can call it campy or whatever they want to call it, kitsch or whatever. But it served up that last helping of classic slasher, maniac at a camp somewhere type killer movie, slasher movie. And then after that, it started getting a little wild for me.
Well, I was going to say, when Matt made that comment about Jason coming out to the boat and not, him just disappearing because he don't do that. And I was sitting there thinking, yeah, because in the next Jason movie, if he'd have called that Jason a pussy, dude would have walked right up there and climbed in the boat.
Yeah. He starts to get pretty damn powerful.
Yeah.
But like, I think what we need to talk about this too, though we already rated it. I forgot to this part. How would you rate the gentleman playing Jason Voorhees in this movie?
I mean, he was Jason to me. That's all. I thought he did a fantastic job.
I did too. I thought he's one of the best ones, so I think he's one of the best ones. That's harder.
And that's cool you bring that up because I don't think a lot of people do. They think, oh, what do you do? All you got to do is put that stuff on and put a mask on and just walk around. No, you have to have certain body language, certain movements, like when someone's hiding and they think that they're safe and he just turns and looks at them. That kind of just little things, little Jasonisms that you got to get down.
You got to have a little bit of showman in you. Like even like Kane Hodder did that too. Yeah. What do you think, Tony? Was he a good Jason or not?
I think he was a great Jason. I wish I had the money and the time to go. He's going to be in Evansville, Indiana in February, and I'd love to go meet him.
That would
and
be
a lot of people don't realize that when it comes to Jason, every person that played Jason, with the exception of one of the guys that played Jason Part 2, were stuntmen. They were stuntmen. So that means they took all the falls and all the damage too. So I mean,
yeah, and like, well, also there's subtleties to it too. Like people don't think of it. Same thing with Michael Myers. These two guys don't talk. Like at least with Robert Englund, he could get used to his linguistic ability. Just really learn from acting and how the emotes things. But like, here's a good example of this in the movie. Like when this guy he takes this hit, and I know it was probably a breakaway shovel, but just the way he does it, this is Jason to a T, and I think he got that.
Yeah.
He just turns around and goes, "What the fuck do you think you're doing, mister?"
Yeah.
Like, that ain't gonna bother me. And then also the iconic scene, the person when he gets his mask back.
Yep. That's right, where he stares right at Tommy.
Yeah, and it's I think this is kind of where they dropped all pretension though, right? Because Katana was talking about it like he gets his like on 007 style intro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love
that.
Yeah.
And so like we're just gonna lean into it.
Yeah.
And they kind of just lean into it on out.
Doesn't that kind of give you the feeling of them saying, "Here you go, fans. We know you love him. We're gonna serve him up to you."
Yeah, and I kind of wish they'd done more of that in Part 8.
Yeah.
One scene I want to point out, going back to the sheriff, talking about scenes where the stuntman takes the damage, is the scene where he sees Jason, he shoots him with a shotgun, blasts his ass down, he gets up, shoots him again, he rolls over, stands up, shoots him again, rolls over, stands up, shoots him again. I mean, you're like, because you're just like you're just waiting for him to pass back up, and he does the Undertaker stand up, and boom, you roll back over. That was kind of funny. I like that.
That's straight up like Navy SEAL crunch with nobody sitting on your feet or nothing. You just go from here to here.
Yeah,
like Shawn Michaels used to do in wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like I kind of wonder if Mark Calloway, aka the Undertaker, kind of got some of his mannerisms from watching guys like Jason.
Yeah, I can see that.
And probably Frankenstein, but yeah, they kind of lean into that Frankenstein thing. This is like it's kind of getting more of the lore of like the hologram thing and all that. But like, I would put this guy as a top 5 Jason. All of them. I even like the guy that was in Freddy versus Jason. I feel like they kind of gave O'Kane the shaft in that one. They promised that he would be in that movie, and Robert Englund wanted him in that movie, but it didn't happen. But I guess the one thing Robert Englund has on some of the guys that play Jason, you kind of have to cast Robert Englund, right? Because when they redid that movie, it wasn't the same without Robert Englund.
Yeah, it just don't feel right.
Yeah, I've been meaning to say that, and I kept forgetting when Big Jeff mentioned Weekend at Bernie's. The guy that played Bernie played the asshole doctor in Part 7, The New Blood.
Yeah, I was the one that mentioned it. But
yeah, Matt mentioned that.
Okay, but I want to point something out. We're talking about tropes. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm trying to scan the whole movie in my brain. This is the only movie where there's not the trope where the asshole gets a horrific death, because I don't think there's truly the only biggest asshole that you really saw was the cop with the gun, and Megan locked his ass in the jail cell, so which means that he actually lived.
Yeah. She saved him.
Well, I
Yeah.
think maybe if I was going to focus on the biggest asshole, it actually might be one of the paintball guys, because he's sitting there cussing that woman.
Yeah, you're right.
Although I
forgot
don't
about
think
him.
that's worth
Oh, you're
saying.
talking as far as victims.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dumb
okay.
broad. She should be an
I
Because-
idiot.
don't know, but that kid
'cause,
driving
you know-
the RV was a pretty big piece of shit.
At the risk of speaking
No, I-
blasphemy, in this one, Tommy Jarvis was kind of the asshole too.
What he said. What he said.
Exactly.
Don't hate me.
Like I said, this is all Tommy Jarvis's fault.
Yeah, man.
Sooner or
I mean,
later,
he could have left dead dogs alive. Like, you know what I mean?
You could have left Maggot Head right where he was.
Jason
was
was
gonna
fine. He was resting there. Nobody was going to stab him with a wrought iron fence post and like make him come back to life. He drags his poor friend along on Horseshack, and that guy didn't want none of this. He was just like, I don't even know who you're talking about. I just learned about this guy because I was in a hospital with you. I'm trying to get over my mental illness, and here you are dragging me to dig up a dead body and burn it.
Yeah.
well, if you think about it, Tommy did help him get over his mental illness.
Yeah.
He got him killed too.
It just took a little heart. Oh, that's my second dad joke of the show. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, I'm going to play this for that joke.
Game over, man. It's game over.
But the one thing I can say about this movie is the real winner of this movie is Jason, even though he lost. He's not really dead. He was just chilled under the water.
I don't know
what I mean?
which. I was gonna say I don't know which movie we can discuss this on, whether it be Jason Goes to Hell or Part 7. But sooner or later we'll have to discuss if Jason really is demonically possessed. Did he start becoming an innocent himself?
Yeah, because I kind of wonder if his mother just put like a voodoo curse on him to go around killing people, and he really didn't want to do it.
Yeah, if he's being led by a demonic force, that means Jason, the innocent Jason's tucked in there somewhere and he can't get out.
Well,
Yeah.
that's an interesting point you make, because technically, or not technically, when he died as a kid, he was innocent. He was an innocent kid.
Yep.
That was just trying to go for a swim, and all these negligent teenagers were out there smoking dope, drinking beer, and having premarital sex, and let him drown.
Yeah.
I would say his mom was pretty bad though. His mom went like completely psychotic break on people, But I could also defend her too, because if you're a parent and your child died like that, you'd be pretty pissed too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would go that far, but
No.
I mean, it's not the first time somebody's done that for their kid, though. I mean, in real life, we not forget about the guy at the airport. I think you know what I'm talking about. He's at the phone booth, and they bring in the guy that kidnapped his son, and he's waiting on his ass. There was also a German lady that did that in the 70s to a guy in Germany. So I mean, I don't know. What would you do? But I will say this before everybody goes. If you're into comic books, the Sunday Super Show Extravaganza new Comic Day preview show will be Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So please check that out. And now I will let Comic Verse let you know what's going to be coming up for Friday Night Frights next week on his channel.
All right. Well, tomorrow night I'm going to be doing a live show on the Commonverse channel starting at 8 p.m. Central. Everybody here is invited. We're just going to be hanging out BSing. But next Friday, and it's funny that Matt mentioned it during the show. Next Friday for Friday Night Frights, we're going to talk about my favorite Freddy movie, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to go
Dream
from
Warriors.
We're going to go from one.
No more.
I was going to say we're going to go from one movie that was a heavy metal soundtrack to the movie that probably started it in the 80s. I'll say that. I may be wrong, but.
And we got a comment here from Katana that says, whether Jason is possessed or not, you have to admit that everyone Jason killed, starting with Part 6, is technically Tommy's fault for digging him back up in the first place. Yes.
Yeah, that's what Matt's been saying.
Yeah. Well, also the girl in the seventh one kind of inadvertently like gets him out of the water, but he wouldn't have been there in the first place if it hadn't been for Tommy.
Exactly.
And Tommy, as far as we know, is going on about his life and doesn't give a shit no more. So,
Hey,
'cause
that's a good point. But here's also another point. Is it also that we don't hear from him because he took the rap for these murders, and so that way nobody would go looking for Jason in the lake, and then he just took the rap
there's the point that I
and it
always
got
lay out. Yeah, that I always lay out about some of these horror films. It ends okay, and you and the Blondie there are left trying to explain why all the cops are dead and why all these teenagers are dead. Oh, well, I resurrected this serial killer's dead body from the grave. We tried to dig it up and burn him. He came back to life and killed everybody, but we're the only two left to explain it all.
he's chained down in the lake.
It's the same thing with what was that movie we were watching the other day? I'm like, how are you going to explain all these murders? What movie was that? There was a movie the other day. I'm like, how are we going to explain all these murders? I mean, you could actually say it about Scream. So, the killers are both conveniently dead. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. How do we know you kids weren't involved in this? Jeff is in law enforcement. Jeff, what would you have done if somebody come here and said, "Oh no, my dad's a sheriff"? Well, honey, we already know from the deputy that's locked up in the jail cell that you took his gun from him at gunpoint and put him in the cell and threatened to kill him so you could break out a guy that your dad had already had in jail.
Yeah.
Suspected of killing these people and claiming some crazy axe murderer to come back to life. Who's going to believe you?
Yeah, that could have been a weird plot twist where some sheriff's deputies catch up to her and Tommy before they get to the lake or whatever to get to Jason. Could have filled them full of lead if they didn't follow orders.
Yeah, Tommy's back in the asylum, and she's probably in jail for accessory.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That cop that survived, he kind of had a man crush on her, or had a crush on her, so he probably smoothed it to where she got out scot free.
Yeah, that was the feeling because it's such a little country hometown, thing to where it's like, gosh darn it, you know better than that. Don't kidnap the police and aim your gun at them and threaten to murder them. Just don't do that.
40, I was gonna say 40 years later, Tommy's still in the nut house, and she's married a dude.
Yeah, that's the one thing they never clear about this. Okay, you survived the night. And like some of these movies where the killer just gets totally obliterated, like, okay, where's he at? Also, I got a question. Even if you had told them, like, okay, if you tell the police that, they might, what if they're like, okay, well, we'll drag the lake. Why did they get his body out of the fucking lake?
Because it's a movie.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The last thing you see when the movie goes off is Jason's eyes showing that he's still alive. So if they'd have snapped that chain, then they would have found out real quick that everything that Tommy and Megan said was true.
Or maybe it was a small town. They're like, you know what? We're just going to sweep this under the rug. We don't care.
Yeah. It could have been that.
Don't be telling people about this. But you know what? How do we know that Jason didn't hunt Tommy down and kill his ass?
Yeah, you know what?
Hey, that sounds like another movie.
And you know what? We went through the whole show and didn't even mention the fact that the town was going so far to get away from the image of Jason Voorhees that they changed the name from Crystal Lake to Lake Forest Green.
Yep.
Yeah, they should. After the movie, it was called Lake Blood Red.
See, that would be like a new Friday the 13th movie that I would kind of have a little bit of like. I think it would be fun to go see, is if it was like Friday the 13th part, whatever it's on now, 14, 12, I don't know. Jason hunts Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I like it would be cool is if we get one where they come back and you get like this guy back. He's probably an older gentleman by now, and have him like I don't know, like come back going. Let me tell you about what I nearly survived. I survived. I had, and like you could explain, like I got in trouble with the police. They thought I killed all these people, and this guy's been dogging me a whole life. And then he's going to come. Then Jason comes back and tries to hunt down his family.
Yeah. Like Tommy Jarvis has let's say he meets somebody, has a couple of sons, whatever, and now that son's got kids too, and they're all living in a log cabin somewhere out in the country. violate, whatever. You know what I mean. Set it up that way, and then Jason's coming after Tommy and his family.
Well, I guess we're going to call it. Also, be on the lookout. I don't know when we're going to do it. Oh, you got something to show?
I got something I want to show you. Since we're on the subject of Tommy, this is Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, the Nightmare Warriors. It's the second comic book adaptation, trade paperback that they did in comic form. This book brought back a lot of the survivors of Nightmare on Elm Street and Jason, the Friday 13th. One of the people that they brought back was Tommy Jarvis. Jason uses, or not Jason, but Freddy uses his powers to make Jason to heal his body. Where he's got long hair, he's no longer scarred, but for some reason he's still holding the damn hockey mask. And Tommy has a final battle with Jason and decapitates him. So the story for Tommy finally ends.
Nice.
Where can I purchase this fine piece of literature?
Yeah.
Well, you can find it online. And
what's it called again?
Can you take a picture of it and send it to me?
Yeah, it's Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, the Nightmare Warriors.
Freddy versus Jason versus who?
Ash
from Evil Dead.
Oh.
This is the second one. There is a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, and then this is the second one. These are trade paperbacks. I'm going to tell you now.
Who puts it out?
Dynamite and Wildstorm.
Okay.
These are not cheap.
Oh, well, you just broke my heart.
Look at the last eBay sales for these, because they're not being reprinted because of the legal stuff with Jason. Your cheapest copy of the trade was $150.
Oh, well, never mind.
I bought them years ago for $10 a piece off of Amazon.
Okay, let me ask you two guys. What do you think? I know you just mentioned that trade paperback, but as far as for your reading or bang for your buck, whatever you want to call it, what is your favorite Friday the 13th comic book run or series or whatever you want to call it, and who's it published by, or if you have one?
As far as Jason comics go, Topps did Jason Goes to Hell series in the 90s when the movie come out. Then after that, you didn't really get any Friday the 13th stuff until Wildstorm had it, and I didn't read any of those. I read Jason Goes to Hell and I read these. Okay. So I'm going to say these are my favorite.
So Jason Goes to Hell was that black and white one you were showing little panels from?
No. That was just storyboards that a guy by the name of Crash Cunningham. He did that for that movie. Now, Jason Goes to Hell is a comic book adaptation of that movie. From
Side note, kind of off topic, but not really.
Side note, the first issue. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say first issue of that comic, Jason Goes to Hell, is the first comic book appearance of Jason Voorhees.
Booyah! There it is.
But it has been competed with Satan 6-4. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you.
No, that's all right, because yours is more on topic than mine. My thing is, I've been starting to eyeball, because every big movie or every movie that has somewhat of a budget always gets storyboarded first, Yeah. And sometimes those storyboards are just fantastic, man. And I've been eyeballing. Do you guys know who Ralph McQuarrie is, right?
Yeah.
So I've been looking at his stuff. I can't touch it, but man, I'd like to have some.
Ralph McQuarrie did a lot of the Star Wars stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I meant. I want the Ralph McQuarrie Star Wars stuff.
I'd love to get. Go ahead, Matt.
I want to get some of the old Frank Frazetta movie posters.
Yes.
I would love to get some of the Friday 13th Wildstorm stuff, but dude, that shit is expensive.
It's all too expensive, and I wish that they could bring back Jason for their comic series. There's so much you could do with that character.
Yeah,
like that right there, they put him with Ash, Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So I mean, can you imagine?
Has Mark Spears even toyed with any Jason properties? Homaged them or anything? It's
all in legal hell right now, ain't it? It's all in legal hell. You can't really touch it.
Honestly, I kind of thought that dude from the Monster and the Wolf cover, where he kind of had like a hockey mask with a hatchet.
That's a straight pull from that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll see you back there, Will. The show will be over soon. But like, there's so many things you can do with him, like Freddy versus Red Sonja, Freddy versus Conan the Barbarian. Let's see if Marvel could do something with it. What about Freddy versus Incredible Hulk? Freddy versus the Ghost Rider.
I want to see Jason versus Batman.
They made a video of that. A fan made it. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen the fan made one,
which was totally ludicrous because I don't know that Batman can beat him. Sorry, Batman. But anyway, I'm going to end it at that, and just be sure to watch next week on Tony's channel. We're going to review Dream Warriors. Not
don't want to dream no more.
So make sure to grab your crucifix and stay up late. Take you some white crosses, maybe drink some coffee and some Red Bull. That was an old 80s reference there to the white crosses. Some people, the younger people, might not know what I'm talking about. Take some Adderall. Okay. You don't want to go.
Don't do drugs, kids.
But don't do drugs. Remember to get your 8 hours of drugs and don't do sleep. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do the reverse of that. Do the reverse of that. All right. Well, this was the first show of the new year, so hope everybody had a great new year. And
hey, what a great way to start off 2026.
Yeah, and you know what? It's only going to get better from here. This is the beginning of a new season for Friday Night Frights and good cinema and bad cinema and all our channel stuff. Oh yeah, me and Big Jeff will probably be doing a review of G.I. Joe issue 4. I don't know if we'll get it done this weekend or next, but we'll talk backstage about it.
Yeah.
But everybody, if you hear something outside and you hear a weird noise in the middle of the night, or if somebody warns you that there's a killer that's been resurrected from the dead that's stalking the country, don't go outside and investigate. Okay? Whatever you do, just lock your doors,
there
get
you
your
go.
your handguns, or whatever you got nearby.
Nice.
And don't be getting drunk or having premarital sex, because you never know when Jason.
Man.
I know, but you never know when Jason could be out there. So
I'm a dead man.
Yeah, we're all doing it anyway. All right. But as a great philosopher once said,
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snitchy boochies.